Master of Orion will draw many comparisons to Microprose's mega-hit strategy war game Civilization. While the games are very similar in many respects, the more one plays Master, the less it will seem like Civilization in space. Master of Orion stands on its own without the help of its big brother predecessor. One similarity will remain obvious though: Civilization and Master of Orion rank among the most addictive games ever seen on the PC. The graphics in Master are greatly improved over a certain other strategy game whose name I won't mention again. The animated intro, while not exactly necessary to further the plot, because there isn't one, is very pretty to look at. Once inside the actual game, the graphics are nice and colorful, but simple enough to stay out of the way. They lend themselves very well to functionality while dipping occasionally into the realm of beauty. The options setup screen is simple and straightforward. Galaxy sizes range from small to huge and will totally change the tactics necessary to succeed in the game. Would you like to be left to your own devices and build your empire yourself, or would you rather use immediate military brutality to subjugate other players' colonies? Higher levels of difficulty provide a real challenge, and the number of opponents will also force a change in strategy, especially combined with different galaxy sizes. In Master of Orion, you can choose between 10 different races to lead. Not just another pretty face, or downright disgusting in some cases, each race has its own unique characteristic, such as increased worker production or advanced ground fighting skill that will affect the way the Empire will evolve. Combine these traits with the aforementioned options, and you've got a game with the flexibility to stand the test of time. Please forgive the retro pun. The interface is not the easiest thing to jump into cold. That's what the manual is for. Fortunately, though, a fairly extensive online help system is available. It doesn't quite match the omnipotent Civilopedia, but it'll give you the rundown on the abundant buttons and sliders found on the main screen. Just don't ask it anything tricky like, how can I grow my colonies, expand my borders, wipe out the competition, and achieve total galactic dominance? That's what your brain is for. Moving your ships around couldn't be much easier. Click on the fleet icon to move, decide which ships in the fleet to move if there are more than one, and click on their destination. Most of Master's controls are quite simple once you figure out what they do. The trick isn't figuring out what to do, the trick is figuring out how to do it well. The Galactic Map shows you the overview of the entire galaxy, as well as updating you on the movements of any fleets you are able to track. From here, you can plan out your overall strategy of where to go and how to get there. Once you have that figured out, all you have to do is expand your territory, build a fleet, increase your technology, build a better fleet, increase your technology some more, make money, and fend off hostile aliens. Simple. Be fruitful and multiply, lest vast armadas poot forth and bomb your puny homeworld. The formation of new colonies is the cornerstone of a prosperous civilization. There's that word again. The more colonies you have, the more sources of income you have, and you'll need all the income you can scrape up. Pick your sites carefully, though. Strategic importance must be taken into account, as well as considering how fit the intended planet is for colonization. Once a colony is formed, you must manage how it spends the credits it produces. At first, the sliders that allocate funds to different purposes can be a little confusing, but after tinkering around a little, it gets much easier. Reading the manual doesn't hurt either. The panels directly to the right of the sliders will show you either what your credits are producing or when you can expect to see some results. Not only are the close-up colony info screens beautiful to look at, they also provide you with information in more detail than can be found elsewhere. Double-clicking on a colonized star system takes you to this planetary view and pulls up the exact numbers on the colony. This information, particularly the precise factory-to-population ratio, can help you adjust your planetary spending to best suit your needs. One of the most crucial elements of a successful empire is the technology base, weapons, computers, planetology, construction, propulsion, and force fields are all vital to your empire, and they are all dependent on the credits you invest in technology. Don't be stingy. Many large computer-driven fleets with low technology ships have been wiped out by a certain human game reviewer with a few well-armed ships. Once you establish contact with another race, you may meet with their diplomats to discuss the future of your relationship. You may set up trade agreements, form treaties and alliances, declare war, exchange technologies, and solicit assistance in an ongoing war. Not only can maintaining good relations keep you from getting blown to tiny bits, it can actually help you win the game in later stages. Force will eventually become a crucial element in any game of Master. Fortunately, this game gives you a vast array of technologies to develop, many geared expressly towards smashing other races into so much space dust. New ship designs and, more importantly, new weapons make sure that ship-to-ship and ship-to-planet combat is never dull. Although expensive, it's great fun to establish spy networks to infiltrate the other empires you contact. Don't feel bad, they'll do the same thing to you. Your spies can give you detailed reports on the technological advances of other races, sabotage their colonies, incite their workers into revolution, or steal their technology, sometimes blaming another race in the process. This may sound cool, but you'd better beef up internal security or you'll find out how little fun seeing your own factory spontaneously blow up can be. The copy protection scheme will eventually, usually in the middle of a game, require you to identify a ship icon by looking it up in the documentation. If you fail this simple task, silly software pirate, your empire crumbles and your leader is executed. This is the first game I've seen that gives you a nice, dignified animated sequence to inform you that you failed the copy protection. Thanks to a few informative and easy-to-read screens, managing a large fleet is simple and direct. This at-a-glance screen shows you the technological lowdown of all the ship types you have designs for. As your technology develops, you'll find yourself constantly scrapping outdated models and replacing them with more efficient, nastier, and usually more expensive designs. The Galactic News Network news droid pops up on occasion to inform you of important events, such as the destruction of a race, and also to let you know how you stand in comparison with other empires. He's a little slow on the uptake when telling you of a disaster occurring on one of your new colony worlds, but quite timely when announcing the sighting of a galaxy-level threat, like the life-absorbing crystalline life forms. Do I hear Gene Roddenberry yelling lawsuit from his grave? About the only thing he's missing is Dan Rather's collection of interesting ties. The ship design screen is where technology and imagination collide. A wide range of devices, especially weapons, make the possibilities here almost limitless. Come to this screen with a specific task in mind and design a ship tailor-made to your needs. Invent a fast light ship for long-range scouting, or a slow-moving, heavily armored behemoth with enough firepower to choke a nebula. Just remember that you have to pay to have your creations constructed. Colonists can be transported to another race's planet as an invasion force. Not only can you gain a new colony this way, but you may acquire new technology in the effort as well. Here is one of many places where the credits you invest in technology pay off. In the automatic tallying of ground combat, the victory will usually go not to the bigger army, but to the guys with the coolest toys that make the biggest bang. Perhaps the most destructive force in the game is a hostile life form rampaging through the galaxy. This space amoeba roams from colony to colony, obliterating everything in its path and leaving the planets near useless radiated husks. It takes a huge armada with some really nasty armament to kill this thing, and the casualties your fleet will have to endure will make you wince. Master of Orion is sure to please any would-be empire builder with a little free time. It's not a quick-fix game, but a slowly building strategic exercise that gets more and more fun to play as the game advances toward the final stage, usually full-scale war. Master of Orion combines pleasing visuals and sounds with a solid interface and a well-thought-out game progression to create a product that has an extremely secure position on my hard drive.